Senator Mike Lee introduces bill to make all pornography a federal crime. This is a very, very interesting proposal here that happened a couple months ago, and I wanted to make a video about it for the longest time, but I've been procrastinating on making videos like this for multiple different reasons. But many people always tell me, why isn't pornography, or ask me, why isn't pornography banned? Why won't the US government just shut down all pornography and just limit the access to it? Why doesn't this happen? Why doesn't that happen? Now, Trump has taken some action on this while he's been in office. Last year, he actually signed a, what's it called? I have it on my computer right here, which is why I keep looking down. But he signed the Take It Down Act, which basically means that if there's any like deep fake porn, I mean, AI is all over the place now. So people are using AI to replicate, a woman or a man, and they're having sex, and it's all fake. It's like revenge porn, all this, other perversion. And he basically banned that, which is a good step, obviously. But do I support banning pornography? I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's only so much you could do. 30% of the internet is pornography at this point. So, I mean, it's really hard to take down. I also think that there's many other, more relevant issues right now within the world. I think the bigger issue is not to ban pornography, but to bring people to Jesus. Because the more people that are brought to Jesus and actually have a real relationship with God, the less people are going to go to a coping mechanism like pornography and an addiction like pornography. And a lot of guys, they tell me, man, if pornography were to just get banned, then all my problems would go away. I would not be addicted to this anymore, and this and that and the other. Which, number one, good luck trying to ban all pornography, since there's so much of it in the internet. Nowadays, I had mentioned 30% of the internet is pornography. But number two is, well, even if pornography were to get banned, you would just be addicted to something else. Because the problem isn't pornography or sex in itself with the addiction that you have to porn. It's something that is driving you to keep on going back to it, a root cause. And you're using pornography as a coping mechanism to deal with the hurt that you've gone through within your past that you have not yet healed from, which is why you keep on going back to porn, even though that you don't want to go back to it. So even if pornography were to be banned, you would just transfer your addiction onto something else and find another coping mechanism. The reason as to why you have pornography in your life as the coping mechanism that you chose is because it's free, easily accessible. There's so much of it. You can control so much of it, and it's very, it's just easy to get a hold of. One of my favorite quotes from the book Surfing for God. I love this book, very highly recommend reading it. Such an amazing book. But the author said this. He said, pornography is so dangerous because it makes a man feel like a man without requiring anything of him. And that was the truth for myself. When I was addicted to porn and masturbation, I would use porn to make myself feel like I was in control of my life, because my life I was so terrible and had no control over anything that was going on in my life. And, I was just living a very sad, depressing life. And it gave me power because I had absolute no power whatsoever. And the same is true within my life right now. And the reason being, though, is it's a 180. In the past, I had no power when I wanted to have power. In the past, I had no control when I wanted to have control over my life. Now, I willingly do not have control over my life because I gave my life to Christ, and I have no power in my life because God has all the power within my life. And obviously, I'm flesh, so I make mistakes. Sometimes I try to take control. Sometimes I try to gain power, this, that, or the other. Always remind myself, though, that God's in control. But that's another topic for another day. Banning pornography. I would be for it, but it's very hard to do that. And again, like I said, the solution shouldn't be to ban something and to get rid of something from people's lives that it really isn't the solution. The solution is healing that men need from addiction to pornography, and the healing is Jesus. So we need more of Jesus, and the more of Jesus that we have, the less pornography that will be consumed. The more of Jesus that we have in this country, the less abortion, the less homosexuality, the less insert specific sin, drugs, a whole bunch of different things. Jesus is the answer to everything that this country needs. And if you even look at the US dollar bill, right, it says, "In God we trust," but every single year it seems like we are going away from God, which is why there's so many problems and people trying to solve these problems with worldly solutions, which only cause more problems. And we're like on a downward spiral where worldly solution equals more problems. Worldly solution equals more problems. And we can see this all throughout First Kings and Second Kings, where the king was wicked and tried to solve all these problems with their own mindset. The book of Proverbs talks about it. It says there's a way for a man that seems right, but its end ends in destruction. So our natural, secular, worldly way of thinking is perverted. It will never work. But honoring God and the Bible and following his commandments, that's the way it should always be. And that's the way that we can get true peace and true freedom from pornography and masturbation. So if you're struggling with lust, I would encourage you to get to the root cause of your addiction, to not seek a porn blocker, to not seek to block out all porn in your devices. Sure, that could help, and I don't think it hurts. For most men, some men literally, like when they get a porn blocker, they just try to find a loophole to it, and it just ends up creating more problems than it creates solutions, and they kind of see it as a game. But that's another video for another day. I wouldn't seek to get rid of pornography. I would seek to heal from what is driving you to porn and masturbation, and look for the deep root cause, figure out what that is. I'll give you, a reason as to why I went back to porn. I don't want to make this video too long, but the reason why I went back to porn was because I had heavy rejection. And it was multiple other things as well, but the main thing was rejection. Growing up, I got called a school shooter because I was so quiet and so timid and so shy and such a weird kid growing up, to be honest. Socially awkward, all those things, low confidence. And kids would point at me and they would say, "If there's anyone that's going to shoot at the school, it's that kid over there." And I'd be like, "What the heck? I'm just I'm just trying to live my life." And that type of rejection from friends, from people around me, it led me to try and find acceptance in another way, and pornography was my outlet for that. And that's why I kept going back to lust and porn and masturbation. But once I healed from that, God healed me from that, I never went back to porn and masturbation anymore, because what was driving me to go back to porn, it wasn't there anymore. But many people look to solve this problem with a temporary solution, like slapping on a porn blocker, trying to not think about it, trying to stay busy, trying to quit cold turkey. And they wonder why they're not getting the results that they want, because they're not looking for the deep root cause of their addiction. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to overcome lust, but you can't seem to find a way to quit no matter what you do, and it just feels like you're forced to go back to lust, there's probably something deeper happening here. And if you need more help with that, I actually created a school group going over how to find the root cause of your addiction and how to heal from this once and for all, so you can be freed from lust. I'm actually going to leave the link in the first link in the description. It has I have an entire course on how to do this completely for free as well. Just click the first link in the description. It's a school group. Join that to get more support if you're interested in that. But if not, and you just want more tips, more motivation on this page, I'm going to leave 2 more videos here if you want more help to overcome lust. And I'll see you on the next video. God bless you.